Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Late yesterday evening, we actually got some new surprise patch notes for Black Ops 6 and also Warzone. We also got some new details on a few other things Call of Duty is trying to gauge some feedback on from the community in preparation for future updates in Call of Duty, perhaps in BO6 and Warzone, but then also in the future as well. It could be COD 2025, COD 2026, etc., etc. So lots to dive into today. First up, let's start with some of these new things that Call of Duty is trying to investigate with some player feedback. So as we've talked about over the past few weeks, there is the new Recon Squad system, which is an invite-only system that Call of Duty is doing. Not everyone gets invited, but certain players who sign up for like the emails and stuff for Call of Duty have the chance to be invited to this survey system, essentially, where they will email you out surveys, get feedback on them, and then ultimately implement changes in game based on the feedback they get, or implement updates based on the feedback they get. There are supposedly like playtest groups with this as well for certain things that can happen eventually. It's a pretty cool system that Call of Duty is now officially running, and detonated.com, DK Dynamite's website, ended up going through and getting some new details on some things that Call of Duty has recently asked about. So they say, as of this morning, exclusive, Call of Duty Recon surveys are asking players which crossovers they'd want to see. What character slash celebrity, something like Terminator or Snoop Dogg, which we've had in Call of Duty before, would you like to see in game? A large blank box was provided. So essentially going out and saying, hey, if you could choose any kind of crossover with a character or celebrity for a future COD update, who would it be? Now, I'm sure they're going to get a billion different answers here. They're probably going to get a whole lot of John Wick, because that's been like the number one thing. Why is there not a John Wick operator in Call of Duty? I'm sure they're going to get things like Halo or Gears of War, other video games like that. They might see some wild things like, let's get a Barney the dinosaur one. Let's be running around as the T-Rex from Jurassic Park up in here, right? Wouldn't put it past them at this point with some of the skins that we've got in game, but it is interesting that they're just gauging open feedback on what kind of characters, celebrities, or other crossovers the players want to see in Call of Duty, rather than them just going out and getting the full-on brand deal of, hey, we're doing TMNT right now, we're doing Squid Game right now, and the content's going to be weird because it's a contractually obligated thing that we have to have a premium pass or whatever the case is, right? So bit of an open-ended one here, but still interesting nonetheless. The next one though is particularly interesting. So Detonated says here, exclusive Recon surveys are asking players which new game would interest them the most. So this could be something that actually has an impact years out, but they're talking about what kind of Call of Duty title would get the most interest out of them. The first option being a new sequel of some kind, a sequel linked to a non-Modern Warfare or Black Ops game. So this could potentially be Ghosts 2, which we are absolutely deserving of. I need to know what happens with the Ghost storyline. Infinite Warfare, I would also like to see an Advanced Warfare 2 personally, but it'd be interesting to see if they would ever re-pick up one of these other titles that we haven't seen. It's been a lot of Modern Warfare and a lot of Black Ops as of late. If you type in Vanguard 2 here, I'm gonna have questions for you. Option 2, a brand new title, a game that is not a sequel to a previous title, so completely new storyline for Call of Duty, never before done. I think that's probably an option that's going to get a lot of feedback and a lot of response, just because doing Modern Warfare, doing Black Ops again and again and again could ultimately run its course, having the same weapons, the same characters. While there are some really good things that come out of that, and I personally love the Modern Warfare and the Black Ops stories individually, at a certain point a lot of it becomes kind of crazy because they just have to keep writing and keep writing and keep writing, and it sort of takes away from the quality of the game, right? Quality, not quantity at the end of the day. Option 3, a new Black Ops title. Option 4, a new Modern Warfare title. Would also be really curious to see this, especially the feedback just between these two now. Like if they gave this to a 50-50, coming off of Modern Warfare 2, it probably would have been a whole lot of Black Ops. Coming off of Modern Warfare 3, maybe a whole lot more Modern Warfare. In the middle of Black Ops 6 now, it's been kind of a roller coaster of a game so far. Be really curious to see what the feedback was just directly for these in and of themselves. But nonetheless, trying to gauge feedback on what the direction players would like to see for future COD games. I mean, I'm sure as of right now, even just based off the leaks that we have so far, they're already planning well into COD 2025. Like that game's probably close to being fully ready to start alpha testing and beta testing. COD 2026 well underway. COD 2027 well underway as well. So curious to see if there's any actual real impact with this in a way that we actually remember and notice here in the coming years. But anyways, outside of that, as mentioned, we also have some new update patch notes to break down. Surprising Friday evening update in COD, which really is never a thing, but nonetheless, it is here. Call of Duty initially pre-briefed this update by saying for Black Ops 6 and with ranked play, multiplayer menus for ranked are going to be disabled. This was last night, so this is fixed now. While we perform some background maintenance ahead of a small update for all modes, downtime will be at 5 p.m. Pacific. That again was last night, so that happened. Players who played around that 5 p.m. Pacific time started just before that window will not be negatively impacted. So if you were playing ranked last night, you got kicked out because of this maintenance, you're not going to have any negative effects on your account, or you shouldn't, at least according to their tweet here. But then shortly after this, we actually ended up getting this small update for all modes with a few interesting patch notes. So we've got the March 14th update now out. They only actually ended up updating the multiplayer and zombies patch notes page. However, the global updates apply to multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone alike. So with this, weapon updates, attachment adjustments, the new belt-fed magazine, which is available through the TMNT event, they say they increased the number of rounds fired needed to overheat. So it shouldn't overheat as fast as it was. I know that was a big complaint of players using this, was that you shot it for like 43 bullets or something and it started overheating right away, which was not great. The overheat now dissipates more quickly, so it's not going to take as long to get back into spraying and praying. They also say the base LMG ADS firing movement speed penalty has been removed when equipping that belt-fed attachment, so just makes them a little bit more aggressive with whatever LMG you want to run with this attachment on there. It'll be more aggressive and agile outright. It's still going to be an LMG at the end of the day, so let's just keep that in mind. Let's temper our expectations, but that'll be updated with that. They also say with weapon builds globally, address an issue where players can encounter a max build limit reached error. So that's not supposed to exist. If you're running into that before when you were trying to create a new loadout because you didn't want your gunfighter one to be a certain way, or you wanted one for zombies and a different one for multiplayer, the global weapon build system is kind of annoying to run into, because when you try and change your weapons on the fly, it just seems like it's always blocking you in some capacity. But they did fix that issue there. They also have a new zombies update here as well. They addressed an issue where the overheat meter UI would appear when equipping the beam smasher wonder weapon. So if you're running into that one in specific, pretty niche one, but nonetheless an issue that was updated with this little mini update. Keep in mind, this was just like a hot fix update requires restart one, so whenever you go to jump onto the game next, you'll get that update requires restart cycle. You'll be good to go. If you already did that yesterday, then you're all set, but no major download required for this one or anything. I again would not anticipate another major title update probably until season 3 on April 3rd, but you never know what could happen. We got notes in the middle of a Friday evening, so they're very unpredictable as it stands. But obviously, if anything's happening in COD, this is the place to be to stay up to date with all of it, whether it's news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns. It's all here on a daily basis, so feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay in the know. And if you enjoyed this video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. But that is going to wrap things up once again. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.